Good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Morning, madam. Yes.
Morning. The numbers are very low. Should we remind? Good morning. I dropped a message to your friends. Right. Let's hope that they will join on time. So, how was your last session? Did you learn about reading skills? Is that what you were taught? Yes. Now you need to speak. Okay. Right. So we will start the lecture for today. And before we go into the lesson, I have certain things to remind you as well. Right. So good morning again to all of you who are here. Let's hope that others will join. And even if they miss this part, since they are getting the recording, they can listen to this bit as well, right? No, now first and foremost, like we reminded, Miss Vishmi and I reminded in the first session, the introductory session, I really need to bring your attention into certain things. First is about the course, the makeup of the course, right? Like you know, like we explained in the course outline, a certain component of your marks is going to the continuous assessments, and the rest would go to the end semester examination, right? So 40% of the marks would come from your assessments, continuous assessments, and 60% would come from your end semester examinations. Therefore, it is really important for you to pass both components, right? So their pass marks are given separately. You have to pass the CA component as well as you have to pass the end semester examination component, right? If you fail at least one part of this, one of these components, you will not be able to get the degree, right? And try not to repeat, because that's a really troublesome thing to do, because when you sit for the examination in the first time, in the second time, you kind of forget, right, about the assessment. You might not remember which component you failed, you would know which components you have to complete, right? And the assessments that are given to the bachelors might be different. So therefore, please make sure that you get through these continuous assessments and the end semester examination in the first go. I'm not forcing you to, you have the chance of repeating, but I'm telling the easy way out here, right? And these are not very difficult ones that you would not pass. If you work hard enough, you can pass, right? So keep that in your mind. So complete the things as you go. And we have already informed you about the assessments when those are happening. So on those days, please be present, right? So we can continue this properly. And don't wait till I remind you to submit your assignments. It's your duty to see what needs to be done and to do your part, right? Okay, so that's about it. If you have anything else, any questions, please ask. We will start with the lecture. Okay, we have about 3 parts to complete today. One of those is paragraph writing, right? We will start off with paragraph writing, and if you go to the LMS, you will be able to find the PowerPoint presentations. I won't be sending those in the chat box, okay? Right. So we'll start with the lesson outline. We have learning outcomes, we have a pre-activity, and we will be learning what is a paragraph, right? And importance of writing a well-structured paragraph and parts of a paragraph. Okay. Now, first of all, I will tell you this. Like, this might seem as if it's nothing, that you know how to write a paragraph and such things, right? We all write paragraphs. But to be honest, in academic writing, the way you're expected to write a paragraph is different. And sadly enough, your seniors, when they're asked to write a paragraph, they don't even know that they should write a paragraph. For a question that requires one paragraph answer, they've given answers, lengthy answers, which goes on to 2 to 3 paragraphs, right? So sometimes when you panic, you lose track, you don't know what to do, what you are doing. And some of these paragraphs, they don't have what we are looking for, right? So there are parts, compulsory components in a paragraph, right? So when you learn these things, it is easier for you to include, to craft your paragraphs to suit the criteria, okay? Right. So then we have a summary and a Q&A session, a post activity, and we will be discussing the activity, and we can conclude the session. Excuse me for a moment, my throat is not doing so well, so I need to drink water. I couldn't find a cup. Right. Okay, so these are the learning outcomes. We have we are trying to identify the parts that are included in a paragraph and understand the function of each component of the paragraph. And we are going to recognize the vital parts of any given paragraph and compose. The ultimate goal is to compose well-formed paragraphs. Right, okay. First, we will start off with the pre-activity. Right now, I am sending a link in the chat box, and you can log into the Jamboard using this link, right? It will take you to a place like this, a blue color page. Okay. So I will explain what needs to be done. Look at this image. What can you say about this image? What do you know about this image? This is a famous painting. What do you know about this? Hello, guys. I really appreciate if you will unmute and speak. Okay, it's about the night sky, a city. Right, we will get to know what this image is later on, right? We will start with the activity. So first thing that you should do is observe the image, right? And you can express your ideas. You can write what you feel about this image in 1 or 2 sentences. You may also refer to the actual facts related to the painting, right? And I will ask 6 volunteers to speak what they have written. Okay, so where do you write this? You are writing these sentences in the Jamboard that I have sent, right? I have sent a link to the Jamboard. You observe this image and put up sentences. Right. When you go to the Jamboard, you have the sticky note option. It's the 4th icon from the top. And it's the 5th icon from the bottom. You can click. So a sticky note would appear. So you can write whatever you want to write and click save. Right? So you would get something like this. Give me a minute. Right. If you can't access this, if you are having any troubles, you can write it down. That's okay. And you also have the option of sending it through chat, right? So you have 3 options. Either way is fine. Right, great. It's easier to use the sticky note option. This one. Fourth one. From top. What do you know about this image? And what do you think about it? You can send your answers. Someone is arranging it methodically. Last time also I had a student who arranges everything methodically. Thank you. Right, okay. We can, this painting shows the night view in the city. We can feel the calmness of the night city with a dark light, I guess. This painting has included a beautiful village with night sky. This is a beautiful picture and nice painting. Vincent van Gogh it was his painting, yes. This is an attractive painting. This is a beautiful night scene. It's a nice painting. It is a painting of the night sky. This picture shows the loneliness of the night. This picture shows about calm night. There are many stars in the dark night sky. Attractive painting which is drawn by using unique style. This is a mysterious dark city with tall towers. We can relax our mind after seeing this painting. It's a night blue sky. This image shows the beauty of an old village and a night sky. This picture shows a beautiful night sky. This painting is an eye-catching painting. It looks like peaceful night. There's a painting has included a beautiful village with night sky. It shows like a night sky, but paint with blue color. This painting is different from other paintings I have seen. Right, good. We'll go back to the lesson. So everything that you have mentioned about this picture is true, right? And this is a very famous painting called Starry Night, painted by Vincent van Gogh, right? Who's a very famous painter. So I've read the sentences that were shared in the Jamboard. And if you do not have access to the Jamboard, and if you have written it down somewhere, right, if you have it in your mind, if you wish to speak it out, you can take the chance and tell what you have written, right? Others who have not mentioned the ideas in the Jamboard, you can share those now. It's a Starry Night drawn by Vincent van Gogh. This painting was painted by Vincent van Gogh. It shows that the sunrise before in the imaginary village. Okay. Nice, thank you. Others, what other thoughts do you have? The painting has a good color coordinate. This painting shows expressive night sky with gleaming stars. Right, so if you have time, please read about this painting. It would be a really nice experience. Okay, so we'll set that task like that, and we will come back to it later. So we will start from an introduction. So what do you know about a paragraph? What do you deem as a paragraph? Any thoughts, any ideas? What's a paragraph? Yeah? Large number of words. Guys, I'm going to switch off my video. There's a bit of a problem on this side. Therefore, I will keep my video switched off. Okay. Right. So that's correct. Now, usually when you we've learned about clauses, sentences, phrases, etc., right? So the next level, which comes after sentence, is more likely a paragraph. Okay. And it is, you kind of observe that the number of words have increased. Okay. The structure is different. It's a combination of sentences. Okay. But it's not like any combination of sentences or words. A paragraph is a group of sentences about one central idea. Now, if you write anything which is pretty much all over the place, that would not make it a paragraph. But the sentences that you have mentioned in the activity, right, talking about the painting, what it means, what it shows, how it looks, the colors, right? All those sentences are woven around the central idea, the Starry Night, the painting. So such a group of sentences can be called a paragraph because it should have a central idea, and all the sentences that are included in the paragraph should contribute to the paragraph, because as a whole, it should give a particular idea, right? So you can't include redundant sentences. You have to know what you're writing, how you're going to support what you're writing, and what kind of conclusion it reaches, what's the point that you're highlighting, right? All these things can be done within like 5 to 6 sentences, right? And a good paragraph, what we identify as a good paragraph is a well-written paragraph. A well-written paragraph fits to these criteria. And a good paragraph is both self-contained and coherent. So there's a connection. It is self-contained. It's brief, right? Brief as in not short. It gives the idea, but it is mentioned in a way that you can grasp it quickly, right? And there should be a logical flow. A paragraph has lots of sentences regarding a topic. That's correct, Putta. Right. So that is what a paragraph should be. And if you have questions, you can ask. Now look at this example paragraph. Can one of you read this for me? Can someone read this? Yes, darling, what's your name?
Nisansala.
Nisansala, please. Can you read this?
Anne is an excellent student. She is intelligent, she is responsible and always does her homework, and she is never late for class. As a result of her hard work, Anne is one of the best students in school.
Great, thank you, Nisansala. Right. So, what can you say about this example? What's there? Is it a paragraph? Can you identify it as a paragraph?
Yes.
Yes. Good. All right. So what are the components that are there? Do you see a central idea, a topic around which it's woven?
That girl's qualities.
Excellent. That girl's Anna's qualities. Okay, so it's about Anna, right? And they mentioned something about Anna, so you see a lot of supporting sentences which supports the main idea, right? Yes, you're correct. All right. I'm going to show a lot of pictures today, at least 1 or 2, not a lot. What can you think about this? I'm sure you have a lot to say about this. Any ideas?
Is this an example for paragraph, madam?
Kind of, yeah. When you look at the picture, what comes to your mind? Do you like burgers? You don't like burgers? Looks tasty. It has nice odor. Feel hungry, I'm sorry. Mouth watering. Want to eat. You should have your breakfast by now. Wanna eat? Because they say, I don't know, that it has proven by the experiments that you should eat before 8 o'clock. You should take your breakfast before 8 o'clock. I don't know how practical that is, but they say it helps you remember things. So as students, it would help you guys. And you should eat healthy too. Right. I'm glad like I got some of the common kind of expressions about this. Last time they were very, they did not like this image as much. Most of them were worried about healthy food and they were telling how bad this is. It is tasty without tomato. Are you allergic to tomato? Double cheeseburger. It looks like it's very delicious, okay? It's all right, you can have your preferences. Tasty cheeseburger. Now, I don't like cheese. Cannot like onion, you cannot like, I don't like lettuce either. So it's fine. Right, so we all understand this is a burger and I'm going to ruin this for you because I'm taking this as an analogy to explain paragraph writing. What's an analogy? It's like we compare one thing and another, right, to explain something. Right, so we will come to this. So we'll leave the burger aside and I want to highlight a bit about why we should write a well-structured paragraph. Okay. So sometimes when you do not write properly, your ideas can get misunderstood. Sometimes you might, like the paragraph might not actually convey the intended meaning. Okay, so whatever you're writing, it should be a proper manifestation of your ideas, the writer's ideas, right? And when you're writing a paragraph, like in an essay, there should be a proper flow, right? Everything should be connected. That's why we are talking about this one central idea, right? And other supporting sentences. So there's a flow, there's a particular order, like one of your friends told. Now, when you looked at this double cheeseburger, you could see that there's a particular order in which the things have been arranged. In the same way, a sentence should also be arranged in a particular way in order to convey your ideas quite easily. So for the reader, it would be really easy to grasp what you are saying. Okay. And you also should take some effort to highlight the main points, the vital points, important ones, and whatever you are writing, the writing should be comprehensible. Now, one aspect in writing that we do not talk very much is the kind of vocabulary that you use, is the kind of sentence structure that you use, right? So whenever we are writing for someone to read and understand. Okay, so even your answers which you write for the examination paper are for us to gauge your understanding. So whatever you write, we read, we need to comprehend, right? And then only we would check the suitability of your answers and give you a mark based on that. So when you're writing, you should make sure whatever you are writing should be comprehensible. Now, some of the books you would know that people do not like to read because it's like Greek. It's really, really difficult to understand. Okay. Now, the first rule of communication should be that you should be understood, comprehensible, right? Whatever you are telling should be comprehensible. If not, the act of communication is not complete. If whatever I'm saying is not clear to you, if you do not get my message, that's a huge failure, right? So therefore, we always have to pay attention to the comprehensibility of whatever you are writing. Okay, understood? Have any questions? Right. So I told you I'm going to ruin the burger for you. No questions. Okay. So, and I also mentioned that this arrangement is really important. Now, I take this burger to explain about a paragraph, the structure of a paragraph. What kind of components should be there in a paragraph, okay? So in a paragraph, we should have a topic sentence, we should have supporting sentences, and finally, we should have a concluding sentence, right? So now, even though we have given it a fancy name, a burger, right? And it comes in different sizes. So it's basically more like a sandwich, right? There's a filling sandwiched between two buns. So we have the topmost bun, which is here, right? This one. And then you have a bun at the bottom as well, right? So the topmost bun is your topic sentence. Okay. And the bottommost bun is your concluding sentence. And between the first sentence, the topic sentence, and the concluding sentence, you have a filling here, right? What is that? Those are the supporting sentences. Okay. So if you look at the topmost bun and the bottommost bun, we can agree that both these are buns, right? Yes, there can be differences in shape-wise. The topmost bun is more like a dome, whereas the bottommost bun is flat at bottom, right? There are differences in shape, but they're both buns. So likewise, in the topic sentence and in the concluding sentence, more or less the idea that you communicate is the same, right? But the way you word it, right? The way you phrase it can be different, like the shape of the buns. Okay. Right. So next we come to the filling part. Now supporting sentences, we have to give at least 3. Okay. And supporting sentences can be of many kinds, many types. We basically identify 3. I will explain those to you, but it can be of many types. So what are the things that you can find in this filling? Can you tell me what's there? You have onions. What else?
Cheese,
Great.
tomatoes,
Excellent.
Patties,
Great. What else? You have onions, you have tomatoes, you have patties, you have cheese slices. What's the green bit? Beef patties, okay. You have lettuce. Right, that's correct. So at least you have 4 kinds, no? 4 to 5 kinds. So this shows that different types of sentences can also come in the body of a paragraph. Right? So if you take in the simple format that we know, the first, most of the time, the first should be an introductory sentence. And then you have second, third, fourth, maybe fifth sentences, which is the body of the paragraph. Then you have a concluding sentence. So that's the normal structure, right? So whatever that you include here in the body, it can be of many types. There can be a lot of variety. Right? But the purpose is same. You are kind of supporting what is mentioned in the topic sentence. Right? So always remember, now from next time onwards, when you are eating a burger, you would remember a paragraph, probably, and probably you will curse me for it. Right. Next one. Let's imagine that you go to a particular shop and you order a burger, right? And you get a burger which has this, you have the buns, the 2 buns, but the filling is not so good. So you have tomatoes, right? You have onions, and then you have a dry bit of chicken, right? Would you like it? Whatever the meat, okay? If you do not have a good feeling, would you like it? Right? Would it be tasty if you don't have a good feeling? No, right? Exactly. And you would, on top of everything, since the baked goods are really, really expensive these days, you would be worried about the amount you have spent on it, no? So these burgers are very expensive, right? In most of the occasions. So you would feel as if you didn't get anything worthy of the price that you have paid. So there's a bit of dissatisfaction also going on, right? So likewise, the shorter, if you have a shorter paragraph, okay, let's say you don't have much included in your paragraph, you have just 1 or 2 sentences and that's it. Would it be sufficient to explain about whatever that is going on? No. Wait, thank you. You can't handle, just in the same way that you can't handle a burger, which is, you would despise a burger which doesn't have much flavor, which doesn't have a good feeling, right? People who are very serious about writing would despise whatever the shorter paragraph that you have written. It's not, that kind of paragraph is not good, not because of the fact that it is short, because it does not contain whatever it should contain, right? Yes, that's correct. Okay, now think about a burger. Have you watched Scooby-Doo?
Yes.
Excellent. Right, in Scooby-Doo, you have seen these huge burgers, right?
Yes, madam.
Both Shaggy and Scooby-Doo kind of gulp down those huge burgers, right? Okay, if you get such a burger, like what we mostly call as double-decker kind of burger, can you fit it in your mouth? There can be people, but I'm asking, would it be an easy task?
No, madam.
No. Yeah, it's hard, right? So in the same way, if you have like a really, really, really long paragraph, sometimes even you would lose track as a writer as to what you're writing, what is included, and it would be really messy for the reader as well, because sometimes they might find it difficult to understand. Okay, that the taste factor, the satisfaction factor, right, the feeling which comes with the paragraph is kind of with the burger is kind of equivalent to the length of the paragraph, what is included there, right? It would be difficult. Now, even if we take us, when we are given a very lengthy paragraph to read, we wouldn't like it, right? I don't personally, I don't like it. So therefore, when you're writing, you have to think about the reader. Always have your audience in mind. Okay? So is that clear about the parts of the paragraph? You should have a topic sentence. You should have supporting sentences, several. And then you should have a concluding sentence. Is that bit clear? Great. Okay. Right. Now we are looking at the purpose of these components, each of the components. What is the purpose of the topic sentence? It gives us the main idea. I told you that any number of sentences put together wouldn't make a paragraph. So the paragraph should have the right amount of sentences, and these should kind of be coherent. It should connect to one idea. Too long paragraphs can't digest. Yeah, it's hard to digest. That's correct, Nindra. And the supporting sentences, what they do is they explain and support the main idea that was mentioned in the topic sentence. In the concluding sentence, it kind of ties everything up together, and it also reminds us about the main idea, and then it ends in a concluding note, right? Those are the specific roles that should be performed by each of these components, right? Have the roles in mind so you would know what should be done by these components. So it would make it really very easier for you guys to write a well-formed, well-structured paragraph. Right. Any questions up to that point? None? Okay. I will give you a short break of 5 minutes. Though we gave breaks in the intensive course, breaks are not frequent when the lectures are going on, but even I find it a bit difficult with my throat condition. So therefore, I'm giving you a small break. Okay, we will meet after 5 minutes. Right, let's start again. Are you all back from the break? Right, so we identified that there are three components in a paragraph, right? Topic sentence, supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence. So first we'll go through what a topic sentence is and what kind of components are there in a topic sentence, right? So like we mentioned, now in the very beginning itself, I told that any number of sentences put together won't make it a paragraph, right? And I also mentioned that for something to be paragraph, the sentences that are okay, the sentences that are included in the paragraph should refer to a main idea, right? And it should talk about that one particular idea. So the topic sentence does that job. Okay, it's the one which tells us about the main idea of the paragraph. And a topic sentence constitutes of two parts. One, the topic, and two, the main point. Okay, it has two parts, the topic and the main point. Right, can I have another volunteer who can read this out to the class, and we will try to find the topic sentence?
Madam, could I?
Yes, Puta, what's your name, darling?
Ishani.
Ishan. Okay, go ahead.
Canada is one of the best countries in the world to live in. First, Canada has an excellent healthcare system. All Canadians have access to medical services at a reasonable price. Second, Canada has a high standard of education. Students are taught by well-trained teachers and are encouraged to continue studying at university. Finally, Canada's cities are clean and efficiently managed. Canadian citizens have many parks and lots of space for people to live. As a result, Canada is a desirable place to live.
Right. What's the topic sentence?
Canada.
Topic
Canada.
sentence. It's about Canada, yes.
Canada is a developed country with many facilities.
Canada is a desirable place to live.
Okay. You have got the idea, but you are not pointing to the proper sentence.
Canada is one of the best countries in the world to live in.
Yeah, correct. Sorry, my line is crooked. Yeah, so that's a sentence. It's a topic sentence. So this whole paragraph is about Canada, but they're specifically talking about one thing. They're trying to say that Canada is one of the best countries to live in, right? So it's a livable space. It's the place to live. So that kind of idea is projected through this paragraph. Okay, so this is the topic sentence. Can you identify the topic of the topic sentence? So this is the topic sentence, right? And we learned that a topic sentence has a topic and a main idea, right? So I want you to identify the topic first and then the main idea. Can you give it a try? Yes.
Madam, I think the topic is the best country in the world to live.
Okay. Any other ideas?
Madam,
Yes, Buddha.
I think the topic is the Canada.
Topic is Canada. Okay, that's one answer mentioning wonderful Canada. Right. Right. Okay, so you say topic is Canada. So if the topic is Canada, what is the main idea?
Facilities of Canada. In Canada.
Sorry, Buddha.
Facilities in Canada.
Okay. What else? One of the best countries. So this entire thing is the topic sentence, right? It's our topic sentence, okay? And I wanted you to find the topic, and you told that Canada is the topic, right? Because in a topic sentence, we identified that there's a topic and there's a main point, right? So the main point in this sentence is that it is one of the best countries in the world to live in, right? So topic is what we are talking about, okay? Here we are talking about Canada. Who or what we are talking about. And main idea is what we are telling about the said topic. Let's say we are writing a paragraph about the Faculty of Technology. So our topic is Faculty of Technology. And what we are saying about the Faculty of Technology is the main idea that is embedded in the topic sentence. Now, if we say the Faculty of Technology is a flagship faculty that is established for the field of technology education in Sri Lanka, right? So that bit, that it's a flagship faculty, right? So that bit constitutes the main idea. So the topic is who or what we are talking about? Right? And then we have the main idea, that is what we say. Right? Because we can say anything. Now about Canada, we can say anything. Right? Now here they have mentioned that it's one of the best countries to live in. So you can also talk about the biodiversity in Canada. You can also talk about the development in industries in Canada. You can also talk about education, healthcare, the Canadian history, anything. But we have chosen one specific thing, right? That is the main, that is what we are talking about, the main idea, right? Is that clear? In every paragraph, there's a topic sentence. The purpose of the topic sentence is to tell us about the main idea of the paragraph, introduction of the main idea of the paragraph. And the topic sentence itself has two parts, the topic and the main point. Topic is who or what we are talking about, and main point is what specifically we are telling about the topic. Is that clear?
Excuse me, madam.
Yes, Vudha.
Madam, when we take a topic sentence of a paragraph, should it be a sentence as it is in the paragraph, or sometimes there aren't any directly there, we can't take a topic sentence in that time. Can we take a sentence extract from the whole paragraph?
A good question. Now, usually a topic sentence occurs either as the first sentence of the paragraph, or sometimes at the very beginning of the paragraph it occurs, right? And there are rare cases where this topic sentence occurs at the end of the paragraph as well. Okay? And in any given paragraph, if it is a well-written paragraph, there should be a topic sentence. So you wouldn't have any difficulty in trying to fish one, like the topic sentence should be there, right? So you don't have to pick and choose from whatever the other sentences that are there. And when they are asking for a topic sentence, you have to give exactly that topic sentence. Now, when I asked for the topic sentence, you told many things, that Canada is a desirable place to live. Here it is talking about the facilities in Canada. So by going through the paragraph, you got the general idea, then you kind of formulated the idea, right? But that's not what you should do. If someone asks you to underline the topic sentence, you should find the topic sentence. You should understand what the sentence is about. You should identify what the main idea, what the central idea of the paragraph is. So then you can choose the topic sentence because it's there. You don't have to extract any sentence from the paragraph, right? It should be there, and it is technically there in any well-written paragraphs. Is that clear?
Yes, madam.
Did I
Thank you.
answer your question? Okay. No problem. Any other questions? But it's very tricky, okay? When you're trying to figure out what it is, it's very tricky because we are not familiar with these. Okay, now we've been writing paragraphs Ever since we could write, I think in the primary grades, they asked us to write about 5 sentences, but then we started writing paragraphs, but not knowing exactly what should be in a paragraph. Okay, right. So do you all also want to go and settle in Canada? Are you planning to migrate? Just asking, not relevant to this.
Yes, madam.
Oh, okay. Nice. Excellent. But I've heard it's extremely cold. But that's just one thing. There are many other things. Right. Okay. So I hope you got the topic sentence part. Right. Now we are coming to the supporting sentences. Can you remember the filling of this thing, burger? This is the tomato, onion, lettuce part. Okay. Right. So the purpose of the supporting sentences, like I said earlier, is to support and explain the main idea, right? And like I said, the supporting sentences can be of many varieties. Okay, like in the burger filling, we can have lettuce, we can have tomatoes, onion, cheese, patties of your choice, cheese, sorry, chicken, beef, etc., etc. You can have sauces, other vinaigrettes, okay, different things. Add pickles, right? So likewise, we have many types of fillings when it comes to supporting sentences. When it comes to a paragraph, we have different types of fillings, and the major ones that we find are examples, reasons, and steps in a process. Okay, so we have examples, we have reasons, we have steps in a process. To support a main idea, we can give examples. We can give reasons telling this is why it's happening due to this reason. This is the first reason. Likewise, steps in a process, you should do this first, then you should do this, and finally you should do this. Then the step is completed, the process is completed. Okay, right. Can I have another volunteer to read this paragraph? And let's detect the supporting sentences together. Guys, the
Madam.
history enthusiast. Yes, Puta, what's your name?
Aditya.
Aditya. Nice name. Right. You can start, Aditya.
Alexander the Great was a successful ruler because his actions created long-lasting effects on culture that continue to the present day. One example of his legacy was the creation of Hellenistic society. Hellenism was the combination of Greek, Persian, and Egyptian cultures. During this remarkable time period, people was encouraged to pursue a formal education and produce many different kinds of art. New form of math, science and design made a great impact on society. If this new way of life had not been as successful as it was, Alexander's legacy would not be as memorable and groundbreaking because he conquered many countries and blended together many different cultures. Alexander the Great is widely recognized for his achievements and credited with being one of the greatest ruler in history.
Right. You have learned about Alexander the Great, right? No? Yes?
Ma'am.
Yes. Right. What's the topic sentence here?
Alexander the Great was a successful ruler.
Yeah, correct. Excellent. So we are talking about Alexander the Great here, and we are telling how successful a ruler was he. Right. So what are the supporting sentences that they have given in support of this main idea? All of you should join, okay? There's no one to judge here. Now, why I'm telling that you should interact is because in this online mode, if not, you will get bored, okay? So that's why you should talk, you should try to answer. It doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong, and in English, unless of course it's grammar, I've told you that there's nothing right and wrong. Okay. So please interact. If you are too shy to unmute and speak until you develop your work on it, right? So you can text me, as in the chat, using the chat option, you can send me the answers. But I would really love to hear your voices. So what are the supporting sentences?
One example of his legacy was the creation of the Hellenistic society.
Excellent, Buddha. Good job.
During
That's
this
one.
remarkable period, people were encouraged to pursue a formal education and proceed many different kind of arts.
Very good.
Hellenism
Yes.
was the combination of Greek, Persian, and Egyptian cultures.
Okay. Can we take that as a supporting sentence?
No, madam.
Yeah, it's a supporting sentence, yes, Putha, but it does
What?
not support the main idea
Yes.
per se, right? So what it supports is the Hellenistic society, it supports the first supporting sentence, right? Okay, what else? What else? What else can you find? So we found two so far. Right, we had one, we had two. What else?
Many countries and blended together many different cultures.
Okay. Right. Here. Can see others have also sent creation of the Hellenistic society, new forms of math science. So as I see it, there are only two. Others kind of bring everything together. Right? So what kind of supporting sentences have they used? What is the type? Examples, reasons, steps in a process, which kind?
Examples.
Examples, yes, the first one is an example. Second one, is that also an example? Examples. Yes, good. Okay. Right. So here we are talking about Alexander the Great. We are telling how successful a ruler he is. And one example that we give is a creation of the Hellenistic society. And then in support of that sentence, we are explaining what Hellenism is, what kind of things happened, right? So the next reason as to why we are telling that Alexander the Great was a successful ruler is the introduction of this formal education. People were introduced, people were encouraged to pursue education, right? So in relation to that, new forms of math, science, and design were introduced. So people, it was sort of an eye-opener, right? If this new way of life had not been as successful as it was, Alexander's legacy would not be as memorable and groundbreaking. Give me a minute. Right, I'm sorry about that. Okay. So it talks about his legacy and it's a memorable one. Okay. What do you mean by conquering? Conquered many countries.
Raided,
Sorry,
attacked, raided.
raided.
Surrender.
I didn't get you, Puta. Now we were conquered. Subjugated, they took over. Conquer means you take these countries sort of by force, you wage wars and then you take the ruler out. Okay.
Madam, in Sinhala Yatat Vijita, is that meaning?
Yatat Vijitaya is colony, no? Colonization. Here what happens is you take things by force like waging wars. Atpat karagatta, jayagatta kind of meaning. We were also kind of conquered because they took us by force. The British and other sort of colonizers, but they have given us a different name. That's called colonization. Yatat vijita. Right. Any questions on supporting sentences? Capture, that's a nice one. Vimansa. Any questions? Can we move to the next one?
Excuse me, madam.
Yes, Vada.
Madam, you said that there are two supporting details, and then others are they support for topic, not for topic sentence?
No, they are also kind of supporting sentences, but like it's an explanation of sorts. Now, supporting sentences, their purpose is to support and explain, right? So they gave, like in the first one, it was an example. And because they mentioned about the Hellenistic society and thinking that people would not know what Hellenism is, what kind of Hellenistic society is. So they explain what Hellenism is. So that's also supporting. Now, indirectly, explaining what Hellenism is supports the claim of Hellenistic society. And they're mentioning of the Hellenistic society to show that Alexander the Great was a really successful ruler, to show how remarkable his work is. So in a way, all these sentences are supporting each other. They're supporting the main idea. But the two major supporting sentences that we can find here are the ones that you mentioned, right? The example part and about the education. Okay. And again, in relation to this formal education, it mentions that in forms of math, science, so what were introduced, what were there in the curriculum, right? So these also kind of support. Is it clear, Puta?
Yes, madam. Thank you.
Right, no worries. Okay. So then we go to the next bit, that's the last bit, about concluding sentences. Right. So we talked about the topic sentence, we talked about supporting sentences, and then we come to the concluding sentence. Now, if we go back to the burger analogy, I told you that they are similar in a way because they kind of fall into the same category. They are both buns, right? You can set the top bun and the bottom bun because they are both buns. You can set them apart from the filling, right? They don't fall into the same category as the fillings do. So like in the same way, the topic sentence that you find in a paragraph and the concluding sentence in paragraph, they're kind of similar, right? Why? Because both of these sentences, they kind of mention about the main idea. Now, the purpose of the topic sentence is to introduce the main idea to the audience, to the reader. And in the concluding sentence also, we can see a hint of it, a clue, right? Which goes together with the topic sentence, right? The same idea is kind of restated because we are summarizing and we are concluding everything in the concluding sentence. And there are also occasions where this concluding sentence can also give us a hint as to what would be discussed in the next paragraph. Okay. Now, let's say in an essay, you have, now essay is a composition of several paragraphs. But then again, you have a particular structure, introduction, body, and then concluding paragraph, right? So in an essay or in any kind of written, the kind of lengthy composition, we are dedicating different paragraphs to different topics, different ideas. So whatever that is discussed in the next paragraph, upcoming paragraph can be alluded to in the concluding sentence of the previous paragraph, but it's not very common, but that can also be done. And like I said, I kind of told that the topic sentence can occur in like several specific places, right? It most ideally occurs in the as a first sentence, and it can be somewhere in the middle as well. And there are also occasions where it comes last. But concluding paragraph, no doubts at all, it comes as the last sentence or two. Sorry, concluding sentence in a paragraph. Okay, is that clear? And we can't give any new details like in essays. We know that in the concluding paragraph, we can't add new detail. We can't bring in new theories, facts, etc., etc. So in the same way, the concluding sentence also cannot have new information. Right. Can someone read this? Is it clear? Do you understand how the concluding sentence works? Yes, okay. Can someone read this, please?
Yes, madam.
Yes, Buddha, you can start reading.
Many reasons led people to make one of the most important decisions about their future, choosing a career. People may lose their jobs and need to find a new one. They may be unhappy in a current job and choose to try a different career. Or they might currently be thinking about going to school and need to decide what area to study. Whatever the reason, choosing a career has an important impact on our lives and needs to be taken seriously.
Right. Quickly find out the topic sentence. Thank you, Puta Chamatsara, right? Guys, find the topic sentence.
Many reasons lead people to make one of the most important decisions about their future, choosing a career.
Great. What are the supporting sentences?
They may be unhappy in the current job and try a different career.
Yeah. So we have about two to three sentences, no, as supporting sentences. Yeah. So what's the concluding sentence?
Whatever the reasons,
choosing a career has an important impact on our lives and needs to be taken seriously.
Great, excellent. Now, in the concluding sentence, you can see that it has mentioned reasons. So, what kind of supporting sentences have we used here?
Reasons.
Reasons. Excellent. Right. Okay, now read the first sentence again and read the last one. The first or the topic sentence says, many reasons lead people to make one of the most important decisions about their future, choosing a career. Now it's about choosing a career, and they are talking about the reasons which would lead people to make this important decision. So they have identified that choosing a career is an important decision. And they are mentioning that there can be a variety of reasons which lead people to make this decision, important decision, right? And they have given several reasons as well. In the last sentence, which we identified as the concluding sentence, it is mentioned that whatever the reasons, choosing a career has an important impact on our lives and needs to be taken seriously. What do you think about the first sentence and the last sentence?
They are similar.
Similar in which way? Similar, correct. In which way?
Main idea.
Yeah. So the main idea is kind of repeated in the last sentence, right? Yeah, so it kind of highlights that there are several reasons, right? And also it says that choosing a career is an important decision. Right? So those two reasons are highlighted. Two facts, I'm sorry. So therefore you see that the idea that is connoted by both these sentences are similar. But there's a bit of a difference as it is worded differently. Right? Now we'll go to the previous one. Look at this one. Alexander the Great. In the first sentence, it says Alexander the Great was a successful ruler because his actions created long-lasting effects on cultures that continue to the present day. Look at the last sentence. Because he conquered many countries and blended together many different cultures, Alexander the Great is widely recognized for his achievements and credited with being one of the greatest rulers in history. Do you see any similarities? Here also we are talking about Alexander the Great, and here also we are talking about Alexander the Great, right? And here it says he was a successful ruler, right? Here it says one of the greatest rulers in history. His actions created a long-lasting effect on cultures that continue to the present day. He conquered many countries and blended together many different cultures. Right? So it's seen as an achievement. So the idea is somewhat similar. The ideas should be similar in both the the topic sentence and in the concluding sentence, but we are wording it differently. Right? Is that clear? Do you have any questions about that? No questions, crystal clear? No, great, okay. Right, so this is a summary of today's lesson. It's a composition that revolves around a chosen theme, and it also consists of supporting sentences and a closure, right? So it has a central idea, and all the sentences are connected to the central idea. So a central idea is introduced by the topic sentence. We also have supporting sentences to support the idea, and to bring a closure, we have to use a concluding sentence. There are three basic components in any given well-structured paragraph. What are those? What are the three basic components?
Topic sentence, supporting,
Concluding sentence.
Good job. Yes, those are the three. Right. Now we come back to the previous activity. Right. I will be putting you into breakout rooms, and I will give only, even though it says 10 minutes, I will give you only 5 minutes because we are running out of time. Okay. So in your groups, you have to again observe this image and then write a paragraph which is 5 sentences long. Okay, so one of the sentences should be the topic sentence, and then you should have a concluding sentence and 3 supporting sentences. A 5-sentence paragraph. Okay. So first we'll do that. I don't know whether we can do the color coding part, but if you want, you can take a screenshot of the activity. So you know what to do. I will be putting you into groups. In groups, you are to write a 5-sentence long, well-structured paragraph. So when I say well-structured paragraph, the 3 main components, topic sentence, supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence should be included, right? That's your task. And you will be given 5 minutes. Right. And when I put you into breakout rooms, please don't leave. And when I send the invitation, join the groups as soon as possible and start the work. Now it's 9:48, and I will give you 2 minutes to join and settle. Right, that's 9:50. By 9:55, you should complete the activity. Do we have everyone here? Right, so can you present your paragraphs? There was one question asking whether we can keep the concluding sentence, like we can get the whole idea of the paragraph. Yes, that's the purpose of the concluding paragraph. So anyway, when we have like a topic sentence, which gives us the main idea, when you relate to it, when you're writing the concluding sentence, you automatically give the summary of whatever that is mentioned in the paragraph. Okay. Right. At least one or two, can you present? Group 7, this painting describe about silent night. There are many houses in this painting and many stars in the sky. This painting drawn by blue color, that's why it is more beautiful. This art says beautiful silent nature at night. Okay. Room 2, this painting is the Starry Night. And this painting was painted by Vincent van Gogh. This painting describes a wonderful night sky with a village. The moon and the stars are painted nicely. Starry Night painting is the greatest painting. Okay. Good. Room 1, this painting is called as Starry Night. It shows the night sky with bright stars. This picture is a very eye-catching one. The painter used many dark colors to represent the mood of the night. This is a very generous painting. Okay. Right. Good job. You have done a good job. And there's a small test to test yourself. I have included a quiz. When you have time, you can do that. Right? It wouldn't take much long. You can do that as well. Right. The image shows beauty of a village and a night sky. Right. Oh, the gorgeous. Okay. It's not generous. It should be gorgeous. Okay, guys. Do you have any questions about this? Or is it clear? Can you tackle a good paragraph? From today onwards, when you're writing a paragraph, you should have these components, okay? Make a conscious decision to add this, because now this would help you in your academic writing as well, because when you're writing your researchers, reports, etc., if you follow this structure, it would really help for you to gain more marks, because whatever the idea that is projected, it's clear, concise. Okay. Right. So the other bit of this lesson, which is process writing and transitional words, I will take up next week. Okay. Right. Room 3 has also sent theirs. This is an attractive painting. There's a beautiful night scenery. There are a lot of stars and moon in the sky. This village is surrounded by a range of mountains. We are interested with this picture. Great. Next one. This painting shows expressive weave of the sky. Color combination helps to relax our mind. Sky is full of gleaming stars. The deepness and peacefulness of night is highlighting in this picture. We can say that this is a painting with night sky and urban city. Great. Group 4. Again, there's another one from group 4. This painting shows expressive view of the night sky. I think it's the same. It's painting. All right. So thank you guys. If you do not have any questions, we can wind up for today. Right? Yeah, you can. I will upload the recording to the LMS. Right. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, madam. Have a nice day.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Welcome, Buddha. See you guys.